Hey Virgo, welcome to your general reading. If you come across this Virgo any other time than timestamp date, don't pay attention. It's meant for you and it is meant for you. If you are here as a cross watcher, you are more than welcome. Only take what resonates, throw the rest in the fucking bucket to all parties involved. If you do want a personal reading, go down below, follow the link. Everything you know is in the description box below, as well as my other social media. I'm gonna let whatever wants to come through for you, Virgo. Come on through. Oh my god, I haven't heard that song in so long. Giddy on up, giddy on up. Who sings that? Okay, what do we have for Virgo? Whoever drives an older SUV, black, it's a black older SUV. It's an 03. That's what they're showing me, an 03. They're showing me dash 03. You need to be very mindful of that vehicle. That if there's something, if that's your vehicle, because I'm getting something seriously specific. Something's gonna go out in that car. You will be on the side. I see someone on the side of the highway. Okay, so that's for someone obviously very specific. I heard coastal, a coastal highway. So on the coast of wherever you're from in the world. Might be Italy, actually, is what I'm picking up. Amalfi Coast. Okay, Virgo. 8 of Swords. Virgo, what are you in denial about? Or what do you feel helpless about? The 8 of Swords to me is someone who's stuck in a situation that they can't get themselves out of, but mentally they're telling themselves they can't, that they're stuck. This girl has all the swords she needs to get free and untie herself, but there's a refusal to. There's a refusal to look and see the swords untie themselves. Someone can get them out, get themselves out of a situation, but there's a refusal to. There's a refusal due to denial. I can't do it. I'm not capable. I won't be able to do that. I won't be able to get away from this. I won't be able to maintain. Whatever it may be, there's a forced denial that's keeping you trapped. You have everything you need to untrap yourself from whatever mental hang-up you have, Virgo. But there's a refusal to do so. Sorry, that was George. He's a wild little beagle, man. He's such a country dog. It's so... Wheel of Fortune. Woo woo. Your fortune awaits you, Virgo, the minute you're able to untie yourself from some type of situation. Take the blinders off. Take the rose-colored glasses off. Be real with yourself. Because there's something holding you back that you are mentally clinging on to or hung up on. And the Wheel of Fortune awaits. It's just asking you to cut yourself free with those swords. It's asking you to give yourself some mental freedom, some mental clarity. Give yourself the capacity to do what it is you want without feeling shame or guilt or appeasing others. The 8 of Swords is all about appeasing others. Shame, guilt. People forcing us to stay in situations due to their emotional, irregularities. I'm feeling a fawn energy from this strongly. So when we fawn, we tiptoe around other people's emotions. So if we're dealing with somebody who is covertly narcissistic, manipulative, or has a personality disorder, like borderline or anything like that, where manipulation does come into play a lot of the time, if we don't realize that we're dealing with this person like that, and we start to just basically bend the knee and change ourselves to do whatever they want us to do. So let's say that you going out with your friends causes them to really go into a chaotic, imploding episode of jealousy, and they can't regulate themselves, they can't handle that. That's up to them to regulate. That's not up to you to then stop going out with your friends. You don't fawn them. You don't become a baby deer and tiptoe around them, become really gentle. They need to learn to regulate their jealousy and their emotions. Not you fawning to them and not going out. This person needs to realize they're dealing with an individual like that emotionally cannot regulate themselves, and therefore look for other people around them to do that. And that makes you responsible for them. And that's quite the burden. Some of you guys are emotionally responsible for somebody else. and it keeps you stagnant because you're just afraid to hurt them. You're afraid to upset them. You're afraid what's going to happen to them. You're afraid about their reaction. You're afraid about how they're going to take it. You're afraid about feeling guilty about that, feeling shameful about that. Like, there's a lot of negative man-made emotions in the Eight of Swords card here, and it is preventing you from falling into fate's hands. Yeah, Four of Swords and Judgment. There's something that needs to end in your life for another thing to take place. And look at this. I love tarot just for this reason. I just love how it does this. So, all right, an ending needs to take place. You need to put a nail in a coffin on something for another thing to take place that is actually aligned for you and meant for you. And that takes place by you getting yourself out of the Eight of Swords, and you go to the Four, baby. You cut this right in half. You take one of those knives, you cut yourself free, and you claim. I say claim. You claim, and you gain a lot of peace. This is taking your power back, Virgo. Take your power back from other people that are trying to shame you, guilt you, manipulate you, coerce you. People that you're trying to please, people that you're trying to have good opinions from. Fuck that, Virgo. You release yourself from that, you find a lot of peace in doing so. You regain your autonomy, you regain your personal independence. You honestly create so much space in your life from putting a nail in a coffin on something that fate is just going to come sweeping on in, baby. I'm seeing someone sweep something out their front door. That's an old wives' tale, to sweep things out, sweep the negative out, sweep the, negative energies out the door type deal. Something's got to go. Something has to give. There's got to be a nail in the coffin on a situation because fate is at play here. But look at this. It's in your hands, Virgo. Or if you're dealing with somebody else, you could be dealing with an air sign. But I feel like this is a mental hang-up you have, Virgo. And you got to get past it. You got to work your way through the triggers of why you fawn people. Were you nurtured in that environment? Did you have to, I heard nitpicking, a nitpicking environment. Did you have to please your parents constantly? Did they micromanage you constantly? Were you always held to a higher standard constantly? Were you not allowed to fail? Were you not allowed to have any emotional depth? Were you not allowed to feel? Like, what was it that made you feel you had to people please and then work around their emotions? Because there's someone you're attached to here, Virgo, where you're afraid to upset them. You're afraid to upset them. You're afraid to cut yourself free from feeling obligated to them. And that will give you peace. You are not obligated to anyone or anything, even if it is your family or your parents. We all are individual people. You were born into a family, not as a slave, Virgo, but as an individual person with their own identity, their own life path, their own talents, their own traits, all of that, their own soul. You do not have to bend the knee to anybody, even if it's family. Well, my family wouldn't like that. My family wouldn't do that. Or that's my parent, or that's my cousin, or that blah, 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 blah. No. Cut them loose. Cut them loose. Bottom of the deck. They are just holding you back from so much, and they're taking so much of your peace from you. This person keeps you on your toes. Are they going to be upset if I do this? Are they going to be mad if I do this? What's going to happen if I do that? Like, no. This person has to learn to regulate themselves, and that you are not responsible for their emotions. Five of Wands, yes, you are not responsible for their emotions and the conflict they bring. Also, I feel like a lot of this has brought toxicity into your life energetically. The Five of Wands is toxic energy. This person has toxic energy. They're keeping you stuck mentally by making you feel shameful, guilt, manipulating you, making you feel obligated, all those things. Some type of nail got to be put in the coffin in regards to that energy, but it's not going to be easy. I feel like you're going to fight your way out of it. I feel like there's going to be drama. Whoever you're attached to, Virgo, whoever you are going to break free from or need to break free from, there will be drama. They will not go down without a fight. They will continuously try to fight to keep you ensnared to them because you are more beneficial that way. Virgo's not beneficial if they're a Four of Swords, because if they're a Four of Swords, then they can think, act, and do in a right state of mind, unmanipulated at free will. This is a free will card. This is a slave card. This is a mental enslavement. This is a mental free card. People want you to feel mentally enslaved to them because if someone can manipulate you, if someone can make you feel jealous or gullible or guilty or any type of man-made emotion, they have power over you. Someone has power over you. Cut that power loose. Regain your autonomy. I feel like once you come out of it, you're going to realize that that person was almost making you their slave in a way. Because if you knew they were going to get upset and throw this huge fit, if you didn't do this one thing, you're going to do that one thing to prevent that. And they're training you. You get what I mean? Ooh, I'm getting training wheels. I don't like that, Virgo. Let's get an animal oracle card. I don't like that. I just saw training wheels. Like someone's trying to like train you to be what they want you to be. Eight of Swords. I don't want you to have a free thinking mind. I want you to have a mind that thinks what I think. We have the platypus. Stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life. This is my brother's favorite animal. So for all my Australia folks out there, I know I have quite a following in Australia. I love you. Hello from down under. And let's see what the platypus has to say. Okay. You're such a cool little creature, right? Complaining about this or that is a way to blow off steam, which can be healthy to a degree, but ultimately it isn't very helpful for you or anyone around you. Lift yourself up no matter what your present life circumstances are. Face the day ahead and notice which thoughts you tend to the most of your attention. Whatever the nature of those thoughts, the consequences manifest not only in your feelings, but eventually in the world around you. Power flows wherever your attention goes. People don't realize this. Those negative Nellies, if you are negative all the time, if you're bitching about people, if you're gossiping about people, if you're verbally saying negative things about people, that is all going to stick around you and come back to you. Be mindful of return to sender energy. So whenever you notice yourself repeatedly attending to negative thoughts, practice shifting your attention to thoughts of gratitude. Consider the blessings in your life. What are the things that make you happy? You may find a discrepancy between what makes you happy and what you're doing in your life right now. If that's the case, choose the altar one, or the other. That's an interesting word. Either change your life and start doing what makes you happy, or change your thinking to enjoy whatever is happening in the moment. It is up to you. Virgo, associations to this card are inquisitiveness, uniqueness, adaptability, flexibility, grooming, stability, inner sight, sense of humor, clairsentience, and sensitivity. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. I love you guys so very much. If you do want a personal reading, go down below, hit the link. Everything is there in the description box, as well as my other social media. But y'all have a good one.